Salutations. Kevlar Kess, Dr. Love.
The dramatic pause.
I know, just cruising. It's been a long time. We keep doing that, don't we?
Dude.
It's been a long time. She left you without a dope beat step to. Yeah. Anyway, just before we started, I was telling Dr. Love about a story/incident that happened last week. I keep teaching this. It's very important. I keep teaching this. I talk about consequences. It's very important to understand that there are consequences to your actions. There are consequences for your actions. And when children do something wrong or mess up, you have got to teach them that there are also consequences to their actions. Dude, it's so important. Here's how, here's why. Right? Example. Last week in one of my classes, the lunchtime boxing class, my guys went to class, they did the training, came out of training, simple, had fun. They left the gym. 2 minutes later, two of the guys ran back to the gym, ran back in, and they just said 7 guys tried to jump them and rob them, just steal from them. And I'm go, what?
At 2 in the afternoon.
2 in the afternoon, lunchtime class, 2 in the afternoon. At my ends. What would you have done?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
Right. I am a man of action. When there's action to be taken, I take action. So when that happened, I was already pissed. I was pissed off because clearly the people who had done that, 7, that's bullying right there. 7 on 2, that's bullying right there. I don't stand bullying. I cannot stand bullying. 7 on 2, these 7 people have watched my gym. They've scoped the neighborhood and they've decided to jump my boys. Unacceptable. That's what went through my head in 1 second.
You didn't think it was a random?
No, it was random. So immediately, I went in the back. I took out my baseball bat. Simple. No conversation. No discussion. No 25 questions. No. Baseball bat. I took it out, went outside. I stood on the crossroads, middle of the road, broad daylight, black man, all black baseball Batman. Baseball Batman. Simple. I just stood there. Cars be damned, police be damned. This is self-defense. My people are being threatened. My life is being threatened. I am prepared to defend myself 1 against 7. Simple as that. It's a bad day for them, not for me. Now, here's the question. Kes, with all you've done, all you do, why baseball bats? That's simple. It's the same story of the 4 little pigs. Yeah, the 4 little pigs.
Tell me the story of the 4 little pigs, guys.
Alright, you know about three pigs, right?
That's the one I've heard, yeah.
Right, because you see, this is the problem. 3 little pigs, right? There's a 4th pig. The first pig, what did it build a house of?
This is such a long time since I've heard this stuff.
There's one of hay, right? Hay, horse hay, just hay, right? So the first pig, his house was built of hay. The second pig, his house was built of what? Wood. The third pig, cement, right? Now the 4th pig built his house on skulls of wolves. It's not very strong, but it sends the right message. We don't talk about that pig. That's the point. The baseball bat sends the message. I'm not to be messed with. We here are not to be messed with. You touch any of my boys, you've touched me. I will back them up and I would not think twice about it. That's the message that's being sent.
Consequences.
There are consequences to your actions. That's the message that's being sent. And I stood outside and I waited for them. And they circled the block and they came back.
How long after did you see them?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So they really did scope out the place.
That's my point.
And if you didn't, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Because if you didn't do that, then it's like easy pickings. We know that.
Easy pickings.
We got easy targets.
You don't.
Because a lot of people come to your class are not going to be from the area. Yeah. It would have set the wrong precedent completely.
There you go.
If you let it slide.
So they saw me standing in the middle of the road, broad daylight, baseball bats, staring them dead in the eye.
Like, this mother lover's crazy.
This guy is not serious.
Yeah, that's not normal.
And I just stood there, just waited. I wasn't shouting. I wasn't threatening. Dead in their eyes, just waiting for them there.
So then you saw them. They came round.
They were walking towards back to the gym again,
and
they saw me standing outside the gym on the road, baseball bat in hand, dead in the eye, waiting on them. They saw that. All 7 of them just like they looked, and they're like, "Nah, not him." And they started backtracking. So he's walking back, and you know the whole. Oh, you think you're all that, but you're not. They're walking back and just throwing fingers in the air.
Did they say anything?
No, they're walking back.
They're just walking back from distance.
From a distance, like, yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that happened. But it's the thing I teach my students is, if your life is threatened, don't think twice. If someone's threatening you, come to me. Come to me immediately. There's time for talk and there's time for action. You need to understand when that is. You can talk all day, but when it's time for action, stop talking. At the same time, if you have people who are around you who are all talk and don't take action, when it's time for action, they will let you down. Because they want to talk their way out of it, which gets you more danger. Right. Cold road. Yes. So, sir.
Interesting.
Very interesting, actually. That's quite interesting you say that. I guess I cold road just about J. Cole.
Yeah.
I know. The world is funny. There's been the whole Drake and Kendrick beef thing going on, rap battle. You know what I like saying? Me personally, when I say this, I say a rap battle is just 2 grown men writing angry poetry at each other. Thou hast offended thee. How darest thee?
That reframe is wild. I heard
crazy.
That one a little while back, and I was in stitches.
But it's true.
It is. It's 2 grown-ass men writing poetry to each other.
That's very sweet. It's quite romantic, actually. Aww, you pissed me off on Friday. How dare thee? Thou art. But anyway, yeah, it's all good. So what do you think about the whole Drake and Kendrick thing?
What do I think about it? So many things. So my initial, it's changed, I guess, through the course of the situation. So my initial thought was like, okay, what's happening here? I was kind of curious and see how it was going. I was surprised, to a degree. I was surprised that Drake took on the challenge. We saw Cole bow out, and he got a lot of criticism for that. Right? A lot of people said, "Oh, now everyone's saying he was a genius," and they're like, "Oh, J. Cole's in the field somewhere, looking at daffodils and enjoying his life." Like, that's the running joke. Like that, like every comment section related to this. There's like J. Cole's somewhere on his bike now, like enjoying his peace. J. Cole and his girl are like reading poetry to each other. So it's hilarious, right?
Oh my gosh.
But when he actually first pulled out of the battle, a lot of people were criticizing him like this was really weak, what he's done. I can kind of understand the criticism to a degree because he's presented himself as the greatest. With Drake's sort of rebuttal or responding to Kendrick, I thought about something you said a while back when you said if someone attacks you publicly, you need
I
to,
know
you need to do it
that.
publicly, right?
Yeah.
I remember you saying that, right?
You
So that popped into my head, and I thought, maybe that's why Drake is doing this, because he's thinking, yeah, let me respond to this publicly because I've been attacked publicly. But then as Kendrick started to then apply pressure, it was very clear to me that Drake was not in a situation where he really had leverage. Like, if you look at his history, there's just so many things that you could touch on.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's in a very, let me finish this thread though, right? But he's in a very vulnerable situation because he's already lost multiple times to different people. There's lots of things you could draw on. Like, if you're looking for ammunition, like, there's just so much stuff that someone could take. And ultimately, Sun Tzu said to know yourself and know your enemy. And I think Kendrick's in that situation where he knows himself and he knows his enemy. He knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, he knows Drake's strengths and weaknesses, and he's executed thus far anyway pretty much perfectly, I would say. But then my meta view of all of this is that both of them are underneath the same label, and so on a higher level,
The label wins.
the label's winning anyway. Do you see what I'm saying? So on a meta level, it's just two brothers going at each other again, and in a way no one wins. Do you see what I mean? So that's in a way, I think, because okay, we're getting a lot of things maybe being exposed, but there's a difference between how this is managed and some other things are managed. So for example, there was a guy in the NBA who I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but there's a white guy in the NBA who was with an underage girl. It was brushed under the carpet, right? But if we look at what's happening here now, it's like there's constantly stuff being put out there about it. There's another example where there was an American football player called Brett Favre who was involved in some fraud, and he'd stole over $1 million from some sort of welfare scheme, right? Hardly covered in the news. And then there's another NBA player who's got caught for something. He's just gone to jail for like 4 years. So there's a real difference between the way these things are treated, and I think it just ends up with more black people looking bad. You know what I mean? So it's a strange one, man. On the one hand, from the creative standpoint, there's been some creative, really amazing stuff that's come out of it creatively, but it still ends up with like beef and you know, negativity
And
distractions, right? We've got World War III like pretty much in effect right now. It's happening, right? Like they've literally said to Britain, okay, yeah, if any of those missiles from Britain hit us, we're gonna be attacking you. Like, that's how serious it is right now. And then you take Israel, the people that evacuated from Gaza to Rafah. Now they're bombing Rafah apparently, and then you got Sudan, and it's just, the world is in flames right now. So this is like the gladiator stuff, you know what I mean? Distract people. Oh, look at Drake, look at this.
There's
stuff going on.
The world has always been in flames.
True.
We just didn't realize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The world has,
Absolutely.
there has always been the threat of World War III.
And wars have always been going on.
Wars have been going on, and we didn't realize it. They're basically, wars have never stopped. They had like a lunch break, and then you go back to war. It's human nature.
I agree, but this is not any old war. This is like Russia versus everybody right now, pretty much. Like, this is crazy right now.
It's gang wars now.
This is like, nuts, man.
And the country leaders are the gang leaders. My gang, your gang. Let's go against that gang. Gang. It's happening. But then they go, oh no, let's give them Drake and get Drake Lamar.
That's what I mean. I think, like, especially because I've been looking at a little bit of what's going on with the war stuff. It's like, yeah, no, this is the perfect sort of distraction.
I like that. Distraction.
What's your take on it?
Which one?
Kendrick Lamar. Whoa,
That's easy. That's very easy.
Kendrick is great.
The Kendrick thing is right now is necessary, because what you have lots of I'll use the word infiltrators in the black hip hop sphere, right? And because they are a bit darker toned than the normal Caucasian, everyone accepts them in. And then 2 or 3 or 4 songs in, they use the N-word once. No one said anything.
Test the waters.
Test the waters. Okay, cool. They like it. Next thing, every other track there's N-word, N-word, N-word. They use more N-words than the black folks who actually use it. And not even that, they basically it's the entertainment industry. So your Drakes, your DJ Khaled, they're all they're all entertainers. They're not rappers. They're not rap artists. They're not writers. They are plugs. They are plugged in to siphon money off black people. As simple as that. How do you do that? It's quite simple. If I keep, I'm gonna give you an example that's solid. If I keep putting blueberry muffins in your face every single time, everywhere you go to, if I can control my TV network and I keep putting blueberry muffins in your face every time, and I'm gonna put someone famous to say in the background, and you know the voice, blueberry muffins, blueberry muffins, blueberry muffins, blueberry muffins, repeat that word while holding a blueberry muffin. You don't realize it, but every person who is below that person's age, that's what it is. That person's age starts to want that blueberry muffin. You know why? Because our people from our communities are on the constant search for a quote-unquote older brother, older sister, a guardian, a grown model, a role model, someone that is older than me that has made it. Because if that person's older than me has made it, then that means that whatever they hold in their hand, that's the key to their success. That's how they see it. That's why everyone who is younger than Drake loves Drake. That's it. Because Drake is being spoon-fed to your face every single time. So he's not the best rapper, he's not the best entertainer, but he is the one you've seen so often. When you're watching a show for so long, that show has dominance in your brain. You've seen that show more than you've seen anything else. So that show has a significance to you. That's the Drake thing. And the Lamar thing is trying to expose, and Lamar and Kanye trying to expose that reality that no, you've just been spoon-fed this guy for so long, you now think that this is what it is. You have a propensity towards them. Because you've seen it over and over and over towards them, and that's what you ever see. That's what you know. That's your language now. That's what the Drake thing is. Now with them dissing Kendrick is attacking his character, Drake's character. You as a human being, you do this, you infiltrate, you steal, you lie, you have ex-convicts and people who have done this under your payroll, you support them, which is basically like he's telling you about who this person is. Forget the music, forget this. He's not one of us, he's an infiltrator, he's a spy, he's doing this. He's telling you that. Now, what Drake is doing is, you're short, you need 50 push-ups. There's the male argument, the female argument. There's the logic argument, and there's the emotional argument. Look at your hair, though. You know when we were a lot younger, I used to diss girls. What do they go? Yeah, but you're not muscular, though. Yeah, but you're not. That's what Drake's doing. That's what Drake's doing. And so I just go, okay, what's the lyric saying? I want to hear the words without the beat. And I go, okay. Kendrick's telling you we don't like what you do because your songs are insulting our women. Your songs make our women feel less than they actually are. Your songs make, you're calling our women bitches. You're doing this. I say we because it's not me, it's the whole community saying this. You see my point? And if you're buying his songs, women, you are not helping your sisters. Because these guys do this to your sisters. That's what he's saying. Attacking his character, as in this is what you do, this is who you are as a person. As a person. Well, Drake is like, you're short, your crew is whack, Don't respond, just take the L, salute them, walk out. Because again, like I keep saying, you attack someone. If someone attacks you publicly, attack back publicly. If someone attacks you privately, deal with it privately. But this is if you have a reputation to uphold. Drake hasn't. He's an entertainer. He's not from Chicago, Detroit. He's not that person. He's a Canadian entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Canadian Jewish entertainer. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with anything. And as it turns out now, he's actually, since the Kendrick has been exposing him, the Drake character has now started pulling his funds,
sold his properties
and properties from US, now going back down to Canada. You blame him, because what Kendrick has done is again attacked the character and exposed him for who he is. You know, you have these companies that are fraudulent. You have this, you're doing this, da 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 da. It's putting out there, and this is not like beef. This is like, no, on it. And what he's doing, so the Kendrick thing that's happening is Kendrick has FU money. He has the, I don't care if I'm under your label, I can do this without your label. Kendrick, that's Kendrick. That's an artist that's passionate about what they do. I can do it on the streets. I don't need you for this. That's the Kanye West fear thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Kendrick thing. That's it. Whether they're under the same universe or whatever, no one cares.
The thing you said, one of the things you said reminded me of my thoughts, because when this started to heat up, from what I've heard, there's been little sneak disses going back years.
Yes.
With Cole saying certain things and Drake saying certain things.
Yes.
I don't know if Kendrick's been doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what's interesting is this idea of, they call it subliminals, which is ridiculous, because subliminal means something that's below your awareness.
Yes.
If it was really subliminal, like, no one would ever pick up on any of it. But
Yes.
it's indirect.
Yes.
Right? Masculine energy is direct.
Yes.
And so what was interesting to me was when on the track like that, where Kendrick just comes directly and says, you know,
That's my point.
F the big three, it's just big me. It was so interesting to me, because it's like, ooh, like a man has entered the chat. you know what I mean? That's what I saw when I heard it. I was like, wow, like
yes,
because it's not, did he mean this? Did he not?
No,
Did I have
said
to go
what
and
I
break
said.
it down? No, I'm saying it. I stand
what
on
I
it.
said. Yes.
F all that. This is what it is.
I
And
like
it's like,
that.
it was so interesting
I like
to see
that.
the difference between their energy,
I'm my G.
and it was like, oh wow.
I said what I said.
And it was the same on, he did a song called Control years ago, and it was the same on that. He literally named people. Alright, these are the people I respect. Out of my contemporaries, like, any of you can get it. Like, boom. And it was like, wow, this is that energy. And it's like, people aren't used to that. In 2024, people don't really do that. It's like, oh, you know, let me do it in this sort of subtle, sneaky, kind of feminine way. So it's, for me, Kendrick's a breath of fresh air, where he's just like,
I understand the why though. I understand the why, because the true artists, they see the infiltrators bastardizing their skill, the art form skill. It's the same way as boxing. Boxers, like true to the heart, to the core, boxers would never stand a Jake Paul or a KSI or whatever you call it. No, because you would know that you are bastardizing the sport.
yeah.
You are insulting the game to a level. But then you have the ones on top who go, oh no, come, it's more money,
Money.
more money.
Money.
That it goes to tell you that the ones on top don't box. That's the difference. The ones on top, they don't box. They care about the money. They don't care about the game. They just say, oh no, we're getting paid. That's all. You see the difference in say MMA. You have the likes of the UFC in America, and then you have the likes of ONE FC in Asia. You have the likes of Cage Warriors in the UK. You have the likes of Muay Thai Grand Prix, MTGP in the UK. Now, MTGP is run by a very good team. Those are fighters running fight shows, and you can tell. That's passion, that's love, that's art, that's it. They do a great job not on a local level, on a global level. MTGP, great shows. Asia, 1FC, do awesome. Again, fight shows run by fighters, so they know what the guys want. They know what the guys need. They know that every once in a while you have to put one clown fight, to get the crowd watching. But what you don't do is you do not convert the whole show into a circus. That's my point. And that's what boxing is happening today.
Just to connect to what you're saying there, and something you said earlier, there's a difference between people who care about the actual art form,
yes,
and those that just care about the money, or for example, the people who care about an individual fighter or an individual athlete or an individual artist.
Yes.
And so what I notice is when you look at some of these situations, it becomes really clear, like, oh, you're not a music fan, you're a fan of that person.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I see the same thing in basketball. It's like, oh, you're not a basketball fan, you're a
fan
LeBron fan.
Of LeBron, so you're not a fan then.
Because if you cared about the game, you would look at certain things and go, nah, I don't think what is happening here is right. Like, it's too much complaining.
You are no purist.
It's too much deflecting. You're not really a purist. And it goes back to what you were saying, where there's this almost like a cult of personality where these people don't have these role models and leaders and people to look up to, so they kind of attach to these people, live vicariously through them, and so then there's this kind of cognitive dissonance when it's revealed, like, oh, actually this person isn't who you thought they were.
Yes.
And you can see them clinging on because they don't have any logic,
yes,
to support what they're saying. It
yes.
becomes, no, you're just haters. It's like, really? Like, that's your whole
shtick.
That's all you've got. We're just haters.
Yes.
Like, let's not deal with what's actually being said.
No.
Let's not address the facts or any of the information or any of the arguments. Your whole
You're just
argument
jealous.
You're just haters.
You're just jealous.
Envy him. But
so, for example, now the quote-unquote big three, the J. Cole, Kendrick, and the Drake, right? Kendrick fans are hip-hop fans. Drake fans are Drake fans. So, now, what's interesting is a Kendrick Lamar would not want a J. Cole fan base in his tour, in his show. A Kendrick Lamar will not want a Drake fan base in his show, in his tour. I say this for a reason. A Drake fan base would not come there to watch art being performed by an artist. They would come there to go, oh, is there any featuring track with Drake in it? So you ruin the whole show because you want just that one small thing. That's the problem then. So a Kendrick will be like, okay, you know what? I don't need these guys in my audience, because having these guys in my audience now as an A&R, you're like, oh no, you need more numbers coming to your front door. You don't. As a purist, you need purists in your shows. It gives the show more quality. And the less you have, the better. But there's more quality to your show. That means because there's quality, you charge more.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good. Simple. When you have every other person coming in, they're going to disrupt the show, disrupt the flow. Everything gets disrupted. That's a problem.
Not real. And the thing is, I love this line of sort of conversation, because the thing is, they're not really, because they're not purely into the art form itself.
Yes.
They'll hop onto the next thing.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
They will not appreciate what you're doing for this thing right here.
It's because they're just on that bandwagon. So if Drake ever stops being popular, the next person that kind of comes along, all the attention will go to him. It's
the mill just keeps going.
Just keeps going, it keeps rolling. And I wonder also, because see, one of the things I'm seeing happening with basketball media around LeBron, like for a long time he's been the face of the NBA, So it seems like there's almost been an unspoken rule where he can't be criticised.
Yes.
Whereas now he's coming to the end of his career.
Yes.
There's a decline you can see because the guy's 40 years old. So it's inevitable that he's not going to be able to perform at the same level. But there's more kind of failure than success at this point, and you're starting to slowly see the people who are just worshipping this guy start to criticize him and critique, and I think whereas before maybe they would have got in more trouble for it, it seems to me almost like the league is looking at it like, I think it might be time to start moving on to the next generation, because we've seen the first round of the playoffs, like all the old sort of generation, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they all went out in the first round, and it seems to me like they're almost preparing for the next wave. And I wonder if the same thing is happening maybe with Drake almost, and where maybe they're looking at it like, how much more mileage can we get out of this? Yes. Are we preparing for the next? Do you know what I mean? The next thing. I'm starting to wonder.
They're looking for the next.
It's like the king is dead, long live the king. You feel me?
Yes, they're looking for the next white hype, the next Eminem, the next Drake, the next light-skinned person who can talk and sound nice.
And appeal to the maximum,
a greater audience.
Yeah.
Because the Drake person, I said to you, Drake should not have responded. If
really should.
There you go, because he had nothing to do with that. There are some things. Sometimes no action is action.
Yeah. Sometimes it's that war game stuff, right?
It's war games, yes.
Yeah.
The best way to win is not play at all.
And I think one of the genius things about it is I think Kendrick knew that because of his ego he would respond.
Emotionality. It's very emotional. Ego is different.
To me, I don't separate those things.
I know, I get it. I know, I legit get it, because your ego is like, no, I'm a proud person. I have pride in what I do. You're gonna get this work.
You know who I am.
You know exactly. And then you have I'm
the greatest selling artist of the. You can just imagine.
And then you have the reacting without thinking.
Yes.
That's not ego. That's emotional. So just, oh my god, no. Like, dude, do you even think about like 5 steps ahead? So you're gonna respond, and then what's next? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I asked, say, what's next? And then what? And then what? And then what?
This is the difference. I know Kendrick did that.
That's my point. So that's
plan all the way
ego,
to the end. 48
that's
months.
ego. Ego is and then what? And then what? And then what? Emotion is like, oh no, I'm gonna respond now, dude. You look like you need more muscles. 50 push-ups. Oh wow. But again, if you have low vibration sense, that's a hit piece to you. Make sense? If you have low vibrational sense, if your IQ is like, if you don't get it, that's a hit piece to you. If you're a Drake fan, no matter what happens, that's a hit piece to you. It's like
some of the stuff I've heard them say, you would be stunned.
I call it the Batman syndrome. Sorry, I got you. So, Batman syndrome. People who like Batman, they go, oh, like everyone likes Batman. He can never lose. Batman will fight the most powerful guy in the universe. Just give him prep time. He's gonna win. How? Kryptonite toothpaste. Okay. Just give him prep time. Okay. Let's put it this way. Me standing in the middle of the road and those 7 guys that walked back for prep time. Who won that fight? The end. The fact that you need prep time to fight me, I've won.
Means you're not prepared.
You're not prepared
for the fight.
The fact that you need 7 days to go and do sit-ups to fight me.
I love it. But this is the thing. This is exactly it though. Like, that's why I say it was some Art of War shit.
You don't get it.
He planned this.
Yes.
There's no way he was dropping some. Because
he planned this yesterday.
He planned this probably years ago.
I planned this shit all week.
I threw that shit before I read it in the room. Because there's no way you're responding to that track in minutes.
If you know, you know. Why ain't you mad? Oh yeah. On a reverse card, pow!
He probably had. You know, I remember watching Manuel Stewart once talking about boxing, and he was saying a lot of these trainers put the fighters in a fight, and they got one plan, if that.
Yes.
And he said you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C. Do you know what I mean? You need to have multiple things, and then you also need to be able to adapt. And
in the moment.
And so in this situation, I'm confident that Kendrick sat down and thought, okay, if I do this, he could go this way or he could go that way.
Yes.
And so it was like great players, like for example, music, sports, a lot of examples, but Kyrie Irving, for example, is like a genius basketball player, and he's evolved to the level now where people say he comes at you and he doesn't even have a plan, because he's practiced all the counters and the counters to your counters so many times that he just moves towards you, does something, and then just goes off of your reaction. So if you go right, he's going to spin back this way. If you come back this way, he's got 2 or 3 counters for that. He's got counters for counters. So he's able to, in that moment, just act, because everything, all the preparation has been done for years. If you're getting there, like you say, and you're like, okay, shit, guys, what do we do? What do we do now? It's like, it's too late.
You're gonna talk to your 20 ghostwriters. Oh yeah, you have to take back. That's what's called.
I've seen some skits that would kill you.
BBO Drizzy.
There's one skit, there's this group called RDC World, and there's a skit where it's like, after he's heard, like he's just dropped a song, and he's like, yeah, what's up, yeah! Well, the guy's like, he's like, yo, and it's like, there's a picture of Kendrick in the dark room, this guy's playing Kendrick, and it's just dark, and they're like, Drake should drop the song, he's like, I know. And it's like, but it's really good, he's like, I expected it. I'm uploading now. And then it cuts, you gotta see it.
That's so true, you know.
And it cuts to Kendrick's, to Drake's, and then Drake's celebrating for putting his track out, and then one of the guys like, hey, Kendrick just uploaded again. He's like, what do you mean? What the fuck? What? And he starts freaking out, and then there's 2 guys sitting, and they've got sheets over their head with the holes cut out.
Ghost writers!
I'm gonna send it to you. It's hilarious.
I would do that as well. That ghost.
It's hilarious.
Oh, genius level intellect. I love it.
Oh man. But I think it was like that. I think he was scrambling like. Oh.
Well, that's what I was when you're not hard, you're trying to look hard. When you're not a tough guy, but you try and play a tough guy on TV, and now you want to try and be tough. You know how to act tough. You're not tough. It's not the same. It's mad. Really, it's good for them. I like what Kendrick's doing. What he's doing is basically is now unknowingly waking everyone else up to go, hold up. Pay attention to who you're listening to.
Yeah.
Pay attention to who you're listening to and what they're saying to your children.
Yeah.
You don't want this. It's not in the neighborhood. As a man should do, protect your wife and children. I'm good with that.
It's a little disturbing to me though. One aspect of it is like how easily led people are, because like it was all good a week ago. Like overnight, the way people have now flipped and turned on Drake. Like I've heard about diss tracks in Japanese. People are writing diss tracks about Drake. There's like I heard this salsa song, and it's like BBL Drizzy. Have you heard the salsa song, bro? It's wild. There's people like singing, making videos, doing TikTok dances, and I'm like, what is happening? So did you like him? Did you not like him?
This
and Drake just hopping on the train
would make your video go viral, even if you like Drake.
Yeah.
It makes your video go viral.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple as that.
It's getting
crazy.
OVO. Like it's like what?
You have to. It's like that. When the grass is cut, the snakes will show. And in the first place, your fans who are not purist fans, they will turn on you the moment you're not performing. This is what it is. But also, here's the main thing. A lot of us have traumatic past. It's crazy. Sounds weird.
So then he becomes a target.
So what happens is, people who have a traumatic past, they lack the ability to commit or connect. There's the lack of connection. It's weird. I'll break that for you. So if you have been raised right, Drake is not your music choice. You don't care about Drake. You don't know about Drake. You go, Drake. Why is he a dragon? Drake's a dragon. Is it Drake or Drake dragon? Right. Why is this soy boy saying he's a dragon? But anyway, that's by the by. And then you hear the lyrics and you go, no, I don't want this. This is not for me. It's not my energy. So it's people who have some kind of trauma from somewhere, who have listened to this or have affiliated with those who have been traumatic. Listen to that. That's their world. That's their world. It's not everyone's world. So you go, nah, this is not for me. I don't need that. I don't want this. So the ones who are, again, in that boat, they would never commit to Drake.
Something ain't right here for me personally. Something about it I didn't connect with. Something didn't feel authentic. Because for me, I don't just listen to the words. Like for me, someone told me once, don't listen to the storyteller. Don't listen to the story. Listen to the storyteller. And there was just something about the vehicle for what was coming through that for me just didn't. Something just felt,
that's not your story.
I don't resonate with this. Something about it I don't resonate with.
I get it.
And so to see some of the shenanigans that have happened over the years, I'm like, yeah, kind of makes sense to me. To me, this guy's another one that's manufactured. Here you go, like when you watch a boy band and they've done the auditions. Oh yeah, we need a boy band. We want one that looks like this and one that looks like that, and they give you the product and sell it to you, and they like that's what I see when I look at the dude. We put him with this person, we get this person to feature on this track, we connect him to this particular thing which is hot, put him on this new trend. Like I've seen this pattern before. Like,
do you blame the era though? Because you came up from an era where the musicians were storytellers, and you knew they were telling their story.
Yes.
You can tell they were telling their stories. 80s, 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, 90s rap was storytellers. Like every verse was a story to tell. That now it's like, you're just saying wishful thinking things. You're just saying things because they rhyme. Oh look, it made one rhyme. Yay! Nursery rhymes. Yay! That's what you hear. But again, low vibrations. So if you're not elevated, everything you see is gonna flatter you. It's like dwarves and you're like, you're so flattered because you have nothing else in your life going. Anyway, that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's enough of that. There's something else I wanted to share actually. I saw this short video which I really liked. It was Robin van Persie, Dutch. I believe he played for Man U. I'm not a big football fan, but I think he played for Man United back in the day. And he was telling the story about his son. Now, his son's a professional player now who plays for Feyenoord. And when he was a little kid, at one point he had a game where he didn't get to play, so the coach had him on the subs bench. And so they're going home in the car, and his son's complaining, right? He's like, oh, it's not fair. I'm good enough to be in a team. Why isn't he letting me play? Blah, blah, blah. So his dad's driving the car, and his dad said, you sound like a loser right now. Because at the end of the day, you're sitting here, you're moaning, you're complaining, you're talking about your coach, you're talking about the other players. I hear you talking about everyone except yourself. You're not taking any responsibility for what's happening right now. And that's not what winners do. Winners find a way to win. So you need to ask yourself.
I love that.
It's amazing, right? When I heard this, I was like, this is beautiful. It's like, you need to ask yourself, are you a winner or are you a loser? Because a winning mentality is going to find a way to play, to be so good that you have to be in the team. And I heard it and it really hit me because I was like, man, it reminded me of something you said once about how the masculine goes through challenge and the feminine goes through praise.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so you could see that in this time, people are so used to the sort of feminine expression of love, where it's like nurture.
Yes.
So they'd be like, oh, you're right, don't worry, next time you'll get to
okay,
play, you'll be all right, da 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 da, do you know what I mean? Pat him on the head, that kind of love. But that love of kind of kicking your ass a little bit, you know, and ideally you'd have that balance, right? You'd have the mother maybe giving you that and the father giving you that. But I thought it was just a beautiful expression of love, but in a way which is challenging you to be what you can be. And it struck me how rarely we see that nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Like in media and in these different spaces. Because some are like, oh, this is ruthless. And I'm like, ruthless? This is
necessary.
Necessary.
What are you talking about? Get out of my face. And if I heard that, like, so why were you benched? Why did they think they could bench you? Okay. So is it them or is it you? I asked the question, so why do you think you got benched? Because okay, you thought you were all that, but clearly you're not a team player. That's what football is about. It's a team sport. You think you can run the whole thing? Clearly, if I was a coach, I'd bench you as well. I'd bench you for two games. Lucky, legit. That's how I do. I like what he says. You're talking about everyone, but except you. That's it. That's it right there. I teach that in a different way, but I like that. It's true. Like, you are talking about everyone else, but what did you do?
Yeah.
Why you? What did you do? Why is everyone picking on you today?
Yeah. Or what are you not doing, right? Like, what's going on there? Because it's
I know.
You know what?
It's that. It's there. It's always been there. Always be there. But we live in the world where we don't challenge people when they come to life with us. They did, he did, she did, we did, but not me though. I'm perfect. Okay, yes, because we love you and we know you're wrong. We're on your side. F those people. Yeah, you're right. You know they're wrong.
And you know what else it is? It's not a comfortable conversation.
For them. For me it is. That's why I stand alone most times.
But the thing is,
I'm on value.
I'm usually the person that has to be the one to say, actually, I'm gonna have to mirror this back to you because this is what I'm seeing. And I find most people won't do that. They'll just keep the peace and be like, okay, let's not make them uncomfortable.
Yeah. My thing is, I ask questions, and if you are not willing to answer questions, then there's no conversation to be had. If we can't talk back, then
I like that question.
We ain't doing this.
I like the question method. It's really
if
good.
you can't answer my questions, we're not doing this. As simple as that. No, I'm good. I have this thing called self-respect. I'm good. We good. Simple as. Nah, brother. Ridiculous.
It's great because the questions create that internal search.
Yes.
For them to find the answers.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it realistically, if you are supposed to be on that team,
yes.
Let's say you're the most amazing player on that team. There's no way you're not going to be playing.
Yeah.
So there has to be a reason you're not.
Thank you.
I mean, okay, there's the possibility your coach can't stand you and blah blah.
Of course he can't stand you because your dad is awesome. That's why, because you're so awesome. Your dad is awesome, and it's just jealousy and hatred and oh my gosh, Robin Van Persie's kid. That's why, because that one time in school, Van Persie got that chick that he didn't get, so that's why he didn't. You see my point?
He went to school with Robin Van Persie.
Yeah, that was it.
The coach went to school.
And he was just like literally behind the line to get the contract. Van Persie just jumped in and got the contract. That's why. That's exactly why. Simple. That makes sense to him. Like, yeah, in your head, that makes sense. Yes, of course. What you get?
Question thing. So you said you wouldn't deal with it exactly like that.
I'll ask questions and say, so what did you do? Why is it that you got singled out and you didn't play? Because I know your skills. He knows your skills. What did you do that didn't get played in? Because I'm not that parent that goes, oh, my child is perfect. No. I'm going to watch my child and laugh. I'm like, haha, look, they're messing up again. Big heads. Look at it. I don't care. I'm not that person because, again, I have to challenge you to grow. I know that. If you get the world out there is horrible, especially if you've never been challenged. So get your children used to being challenged in small bits, small increments. So when challenges come, they've seen it before. That's it. You cannot cuddle and put them in your. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing that. I'm going to challenge you bit by bit. It's called light sparring.
This is exactly it. I mean, you look at the greatest performers. My sports analogies are going crazy today, but
as it should.
They all reflect what you're saying. So,
Yes.
for example, when Jordan was growing up, his little brother, who was much shorter but super competitive, he said he would literally fight him if he beat him. Like, he hated losing so much. If Jordan beat him in a game, he would physically fight him. So he's grown up with that level of physicality and do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's a lot of players from those generations who have that toughness because they've grown up where you get put into a wall when you're going to try and go to the basket. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember playing games like that as well. You take skin off your elbow, all this kind of stuff.
Yes, yes.
The players now, it's like, it's like foul. It's like there's no contact in the game now. A lot of them ain't built for that.
Yeah.
So when they play, and I've noticed it, one of the differences between a lot of the players now, when the pressure comes, when it comes to the finals, when it comes to the playoffs,
Yeah, man.
instead of their game elevating, it goes.
I put my fighters under pressure many times. Pressure. Even when I spar, I let the guys just wheel on me. That's fine, let's go. So if I'm doing 3-minute rounds, they have 2 minutes to go crazy. I'm doing 5-minute rounds, they have 4 minutes to go crazy. The last minute, I'm like, that's fine.
And now they're tired. So you're pushing them and you're getting them used to extending their limits and the things they're gonna have to face on some level when they actually
And
fight.
they have
right?
to also realize that sometimes you throw your best at someone but they're still standing. Everyone has that mindset of, I'm gonna hit him once, bam, he's gonna fall down. But I'm still here. What's next?
Now what?
Nah, come on, keep going. Yeah, but no, it's fine, come on. I'll be nice to you. Just come. And then I tell them. And then there's a cutoff point. Yeah, okay, now you start. After that point of that cutoff point, if you go hard on me, then that last minute, because you had the whole time to go hard. That last minute, if you go hard on me, then I smile and I knock you out. Ooh, you got jokes. Okay. Like I teach us, listen, you're gonna get hit as hard as you give. It's as simple as that. You don't hit someone and go sorry. You're gonna get that work and I will say sorry too. Simple as that. No, not do that. Come on, get your shine.
I can see why teaching martial arts is such a great vehicle actually.
It's a great
so
because
many lessons in
There
it.
are so many lessons, everything. It's all
everything
there.
in there. Courage, resilience,
Discipline,
endurance.
understanding, duty,
Yeah, like character.
doing, even if you don't want to do it, you do.
Yeah, it's all
Working
wrapped up in
through
that.
pain.
Yeah.
Just because you're in pain, you stop. No, understanding that you pick the hardest thing first, and everything else seems easy. Anyways, that's me. Hopefully we do this again next time. Next week.
Yeah, this was good actually, especially because we had zero plan.
What you talking about for this? Got plans, fam. That's fine. Alright. Dr. Love, any last words?
Have fun out there.
Not too much fun.
Yeah, not too much fun.
Come on, yeah, they said I should have fun. That's what. No, not too much fun. Alright. Okay, Dr. Love. It's been emotional.